Group 5 out on the track now. There's some people hanging up their bikes, and because it's wet, I don't think so too much, but I can only see one of the Galways out there. 215 Rod Dunshay sort of sees the start a little bit differently than everyone else. He's off the back of the group, but I don't think Rod finished the last race. He certainly wasn't on the timing screen. He's on the big 1000cc Vincent Eagly chassis, Swiss frame Eagly, absolutely beautiful. I have a Vincent myself and actually thinking of selling it if anyone's interested in a Vincent. It's a C-Series Rapide with pretty few Rapide, Black Shadow and the odd lightning bit in it there. So if anyone wants a Vincent, I could be persuaded to part with that. I've had it about 20 years and good reliable bike. I just don't get on it and ride it as much as I should. So I need the space in my shed to get on with some other projects. Right now, that's a Galway out in the front. And which one is it? That's Terry, I think, recognising the leathers, number 315. Had a bit of a DNF in the last race down that centre straight, so had to put his hand up and then get towed on in there. But in second spot, I would say that's likely to be Colin Tate there on the 101 machine. Running two bikes today, the yellow Manx Norton and also a Norton Dominator. So red leathers with a black and silver bike. Pretty sure that's number 101 Colin Tate there. Got his riding style there. We'll see when we go down that back straight. We go into the static camera. It's good. We can see a few dry patches over there. Bit of rubber on the inside of the circuit as well. Yeah, it is Colin Tate, 140. Paul Arnott there in third spot with Jaden Galway listed as being on the track, but I don't know that he's out there at the moment. So let's go down to the front straight. It is Terry there in the lead. Yep, Tate, Paul Arnott. Now, who's this coming through? It's 254, is it? 254. Bit confused here. 454. Michael Hamilton, Johnny Stevens on 185, the Triumph Bonneville, followed by 215 Rod Dunshay, and then Brent Taylor on the Triumph Thunderbird. So 4 Nortons in the front, followed by a Triumph and Vincent and a Triumph, and Terry Galway there from the Masterton. Used to, well, I'm actually trying to think, has he ever been off a bike called a Norton on the racetrack? I'm trying to think what he's raced apart from Nortons. I know his boys have dabbled at the New Zealand Superbike Championships on Triumph 675. I always remember one of the highlights of their career, and my commentary days was watching one of the lads there. There's Jamie and Jaden. I think it was Jamie at that particular meeting at Taupo, and he was matching the current New Zealand Superbike champion Supersport 600 riders' lap times at Taupo. That was Dennis Charlotte versus Jamie Galway on the 675cc Triumph. So a family that's quite keen on their motorcycle racing, and no doubt when I have a few beers wandering around the pits, hopefully I can catch up with those people tonight. So coming onto the front straight again, there's about 120 metres between first and second. Colin Tate's done 1,000 miles round here of Manfield, as indeed has Terry Galway on the 315 machine, so they know the place both intimately. Good to see one of the boys back on the track. Got almost a photo finish for the, or photo lap there for third and fourth. Paul Arnott gets popped down to fourth place. Michael Hamilton gets across. Michael on the 454 Norton Commando. Paul Arnott on the Rob North Triumph. The Rob North Triumph. Why did I say that? Rob North Norton. It says it on the screen. I was staring at it, but as I say, when Neville picked me up on something before, said you've got the wrong bike. I said I just program it into my head, and that's right. I do appreciate it being pointed out, and I've got that back into my head now. Rod Dunshay, mate, he's had this bike since I think about 1974 or so, and it's just absolutely awesome to look at. It's just such a beast of a motorcycle. Of course, doesn't carry the same sort of chassis like most of the other bikes do, where they have bars and frame rails and all that wrapping around the engine and all that sort of thing. This thing's got one big spine, as did the Vincents originally. The Vincents had a oil tank that sat on top of the motor and actually suspended the motor underneath the V-twin motor, and the headstock bolted onto that, and the swinging arm bolted through some plates on the rear of the engine, and then actually went and the shock drove up onto that oil tank. So next to nothing, then Fritz Eagsley come out with this big, I think it's about a 4-inch tube for the backbone of the Eagly bike, and went back to normal types of forks rather than the Gerdrolics, what they called them on the Vincents when they were produced, because I think Vincent stopped production in 1955. hydraulic suspension was still struggling at those stages, if not just about non-existent. That's why they had the hydraulics, but Egley put those on there. So that's part of the history of that, if you can get all that jumble I was saying. The white flag's out. This is the last lap for event 5. Still got, this is a 4-lap race. We've got the North-South Challenge. In fact, we've got trophies here now. This is second round of racing. This is the Open New Zealand Classic Motorcycle Racing Register Premier and Scratch Cups. Apologies for that. We had the TT Cups in the first 2 events, Group 1 and Group 2. The Scratch TT Cups, and the last few have been the Scratch Cups as well. So, and then we got the Premier and Scratch Cups for Group 6 in race 20 and Group 7 in race 21. Sorry folks, I was just still looking at the early part of the list, and that we'll cross that off with a pen and get back onto the track, looking out for the lead bike. There it is, 315 Terry Galway down that back straight. As the rain come back, almost looks like it's coming back. Or is that just my imagination? I think we're getting away with it pretty much today. It might be a little bit different when the post-classics come out, because they've got the option between slicks and not slicks. Onto the front straight, Terry Galway on the 315. I tell you what, Colin Tate's been closing up another couple of laps and might have got him, but Terry takes the win there on 315. Colin Tate takes second place on 101. So going to be a battle to the line for third and fourth maybe. In fact, it looks to me like Paul Arnold on 140 has gone ahead of Michael Hamilton. They swapped around a couple of laps ago, but that's how it finished. 140, then 454. Then we got Rod Dunshay on 215, has gone through on the 4th lap. Johnny Stevens has, and here comes Brent Taylor, the final bike on the 219 machine. That's a Triumph Thunderbird. That's it, done and dusted. So it's going to be posties coming up shortly, folks.